Mrs. Hassler here. I am going to be giving you notes on 1.1, some of the vocabulary that we had talked about, as well as an example. And so you should be on this page here. And we're going to fill out two of these boxes today. And the first box that we fill out is the equation box. So this is a vocabulary word, one that you have heard before. And so an equation is numbers and variables with an equal sign. So an equation has an equal sign. I'm going to underline equal sign. I'll underline it in red because it's a really big deal. We're talking about equations. Equations have equal signs representing a relationship. Okay, so I want to give you an example of an equation. One of the equations that we wrote today was that B, number of tablecloths, is equal to the number of tables plus 3. Or we said, hey, if I take the number of tables that I have and multiply it by 8, I'm going to get the number of chairs. And so this is an equation. I am relating variables and numbers together with an operation and an equal sign. So I'm creating this relationship. Versus our other vocabulary word, which is expression. Again, it's numbers and variables. But this time it's with no. I'm going to capitalize no. That's a big deal. No equal sign. So an expression does not have an equal sign. So I'm going to underline that. No equal sign. Expression has no equal sign. So I'm going to give you an example. So an example would be something like 12x minus 7. There is no equal sign here. However, something that we can do with expressions and we actually can also do with equations is we can evaluate. And evaluate means that we are going to be given something like if x were to equal 3. Evaluate if x is 3. And what that means is I'm going to take this expression, which has an x in it. I'm going to rewrite that expression. So 12, but in place of x, I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm going to rewrite, instead of x, I'm going to rewrite that with a 3. So I'm taking the same expression that I was given, 12x minus 7, but I'm asked to evaluate when x is 3. So I'm going to replace the x with 3. And then evaluate means that now I'm going to calculate. I'm going to calculate this. Either I can type this in my calculator or I can try to do this mentally. So if I type this in my calculator, I'm typing 12 times 3 minus 7. I can type it in all at one time. And when I do that, I'm going to get 36 minus 7, which is 29. So an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. Evaluate means replace the variable or the letter with the given number and run a calculation. All right, so let me give you some examples beyond the examples that I gave you. When we go to write equations, we need to, so when it comes to writing equations or expressions, we like to use things that are keywords. Right, so keywords would be things like each, or per, or total, or fewer. Oops, I'm thinking of the word more than, fewer, there we go. More than, less than. Okay, keywords that are kind of trying to tell us what operation we should be using. So one of the examples again today is that we had 8 chairs per table. So if I have 8 chairs per table, that means that if I had 11 tables, I would have to do 8 times 11 to give me 88 chairs, right? And so in general, if I had T tables, I would do 8 times T to give me the number of C chairs. Okay. So writing an equation, I'm looking for this keyword. This was per. So for every table, there are 8 chairs. I'm doing this multiplication here. And so you're going to use this. And in class, we then started working through the check your understanding, which comes in the packet after the notes page. And you're going to use this to help you complete the check your understanding. And then in class together, we work through the 1.1 practice. So again, using this to help you complete that practice and asking me whatever questions you have.